Welcome to Go Rangers Radio, where the New York Rangers are always the talk of the town. If you bleed red, white, and Rangers blue, hail the king, follow the bread man, and know how to spell Capo Caco, then you've tuned to the right place. And now, here are your handsome hosts, Kevin DeLury and Paul Cuthbert. They're not always going to get it right, but you can be damn sure they'll pretend they are. Now, let's go Rangers Radio.
Yeah, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Go Rangers Radio. Broadcasting live from the Go Hockey Media Studios in New York, baby. Yours truly, Mr. Paul Cuthbert, and everybody, please say hello to your friend and mine, Mr. Kevin DeLury. KD, well, looks like we got some puck action here in a couple weeks. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. I'm definitely excited for a little hockey. I was telling you before we got on the show, I am a little tired right now, so I'm trying to pep myself up a little coffee action. You ever, like, during the day, you day drink, not like heavily though, like 5 or 6 drinks, you're feeling good, but then you stop, and then later on you start like crashing from it. That's where I'm at right now.
Been there, man. Been there.
Yeah.
So
I love day drinking. Now that I actually, Paul, I turned 44 last Friday.
I know.
So,
happy birthday, everybody. Come
yeah.
on, sing a little song for KD, everybody.
So, I'm definitely at that point in my life where, like, late night, like, clubbing, like, is the thing of, like, the way far past. So, like day drinking is, like, my jam now, It's just, I live for it. So, unfortunately, like, the nights are, like, ugh, just so tired.
So tired. Do I really want to talk to Paulie tonight?
That's right. I was
About
sitting
the
there like,
Rangers.
training camp started. I'm like, I guess I'll have to do it. So here we are.
Here we are, buddy. Wednesday. No, it's Thursday. See? Look at this. See? We usually do Wednesdays.
Oh, man.
It's Thursday.
Screwing you up.
All right, let's start the show over again.
Rewind.
Anyway, July 16th, we're not supposed to be talking hockey in July anyway, so unless it's the World Cup going on, which is not happening, but looks like this tournament's going to happen, pal. I mean, it's been kind of crazy. Training camp started there on Monday, and footage from practices and beat writers and hockey Twitter is alive again, and it's weird. It's weird because we're all doing this, obviously not for people down in South Florida, obviously, but and Cali out west, but for all of us here in New York and up in central Canada and everybody else, we're not used to doing hockey like this in the summertime, especially training camps, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, all week I've been, definitely excited to see, the videos from training camp and the rosters and all that stuff. I'm still not convinced that this season, happens. But
of course not. Not you.
I
tape, buddy.
I have been excited this week. I mean, it is good. It's a nice distraction, away from the fact that except for the Northeast, the rest of the United States is on fire right now with COVID. But it is good to see. I am happy. Like I said, I'm still not convinced, and the reason I continue to be not convinced is that, did you see the news today? 72 NFL football players tested positive for COVID today. So,
I didn't see that, man.
Yeah,
is that
something
that's league wide, or is
that.
it primarily one team?
I didn't really. I just saw the headline, so I think it was league wide. I mean, they haven't gotten back together yet, so it's everybody wherever they are. But I saw that, I'm like, goodness gracious. I also saw, and not to go over our conversation from last week, where we're sort of debating back and forth whether or not this is going to happen or not. But, I saw a MLS game was postponed because both teams had a player, who tested positive. And we'll postpone the game. They must be doing regular season. I don't follow soccer much, but if that were to happen with the hockey, you can't postpone these games, right? Because you're essentially in the playoffs. So you can't we'll play it in a month. You know, like it's like I'm still not convinced it's going to happen because these guys are in training camp now, but they're not in a bubble in training camp. They're still allowed to come and go as they please. They're not, all in one hotel and, have like a team car taking them to the practice and then back and just getting room service. They're still out and about. So, I mean, there's still a chance that these guys can get infected. I think a bunch of Penguin players were infected. So, I'm not convinced. And just close to home here, my son had started playing lacrosse again. And we just got an email last night that one of the coaches was in contact with somebody who was positive. So now his team is shut down for 2 weeks. So I'm just like, how is this supposed to happen? My son's, little league lacrosse team can't get going, but the NHL, well, I don't know. But I was excited this week. I'll take what I can get.
Well, I mean, that's it, right? That's
Yeah.
all you can do.
Yeah.
I'm not. We're sitting at home. Everybody's at home, right? So, even the guys who've gone to start covering the teams and everything else, which has been surreal and everything. But the rest of us, the fans, like I said, MLS fans and NFL fans and Premier League fans and baseball fans, we're just chilling. We're waiting. All we can do is wait and see what happens. And, yeah, you read the reports every day and who's going down and whether it's not going to play or not. I mean, what else are we going to do? We can sit here and continue to go back and forth. It's the right thing to do because it's the first time we're going through this. But, man, I mean, exactly what you just said about your son's team and everything else. I mean, it's like a small example, like, I have our first drive-in concert next week with the band, right? So in my email to everybody, I said, if anything comes up last minute before the show, you got to tell me, for argument's sake, because then that's going to be like a first experience for me. I'm going to have to call the players, the hosts, and say, hey, look, what if it's my drummer that goes down? Or what, it's like all we can do is we move forward and take it as it comes. And this is what the NHL is going to do. Hey, look, with the sports, especially these pro teams, and I know you were joking about Haley before and stuff before we went on air. That's why they're bringing a lot of players in, man. If they go down, somebody's got to step in.
No, yeah, we mentioned it last week. I think that the NHL is doing everything that they can. And if there's any sport league just looking at, everything that every league is doing, I think the NHL right now probably has the best chance of getting it done if it can happen. And I'm hoping for it. I'm praying for it, to be honest. Cause,
I think baseball is going to work out, too, because of the way they're spread out on the field anyway.
Well, the problem with the way baseball is doing it is that they're going to be traveling. They're going to be going from city to city. Now, they have their own team, flights. It's not like they're getting on like, a Delta flight or something. But, I just think that having them, they're not going to be in a bubble per se, the way the NHL is or the way the NBA is. Now, the difference with the NHL and NBA is that the NHL got out of America, whereas the NBA is literally in the hottest spot in America, in Orlando. So, God bless them. I hope it works out, but goodness. Although, Paulie, I don't know if you saw this, apparently Rogers Place in Edmonton, where they're going to be having the Western Conference teams, apparently got flooded today.
Yes, I did see that. It's hysterical.
Like some huge storm in Edmonton just like flooded. I mean, I guess it's not that bad, but it's just like, what else is going to happen in 2020? It's just like, you know what? The place you get them in a bubble, but the bubble is now filling up with water.
Well, look, buddy,
Amazing.
If you look at it this way, maybe what they do is they cancel the Western teams, and now the Rangers' chances get even better winning the Cup. They have no place to play out west now. So, I mean, it's just part of, going with the flow if that's what they got to do, and then only the Eastern Conference teams will play for the Stanley Cup Championship this year, ladies and gentlemen.
Seems legit.
Yeah, man.
Legit.
No asterisk on that cup. Yeah, look, 2020 just keeps rolling on, man. It's like I walk out of the house every day and look up and just make sure nothing's falling on my head. It's just the way it's been going, man. The news stories, the headlines, the chaos, the craziness, this COVID thing, and here's me and you just getting on the air here and just talking about hopefully some hockey being played. But hey, look, man, even with the training camps, there's been a lot of off-ice stuff that's been going on that we can kind of talk about, and I know you sent me some items that you wanted to kind of to chat about. Where do you want to start? I figured we'd have a little bit of a laugh with AV and Torts and the Jack Adams announcements. Well, what's your take there, buddy?
My take is that Lindy Ruff is going to probably be up for it next year, which is what it means. Yeah, look, I mean, we talk about Torts all the time on the podcast. I love Torts. I think he's done an amazing job in Columbus. I think he's changed himself a little bit, where he's a little bit more sort of mild-mannered. He's not.
He hasn't changed completely, though. You saw that.
Yes,
question
I did.
The presser, right?
Yeah, yeah, where he said, they're going to be on. You're going to have mics, so you're afraid that people are going to hear you, and he said, "I don't give a shit."
Yeah, it was awesome.
But again, he's not chasing after other coaches, in the locker rooms anymore, and I think he's learned that he has sort of had to change his way a little bit. So, I'm happy for him. I'm not happy that he's doing well with Columbus because, they're an Eastern team. And then AV, I think AV has gotten some harsh criticism from Ranger fans over the years. I mean, all he did was take the team to a Stanley Cup final and an Eastern Conference final. But everyone thinks he's terrible. And now he's up for, a Jack Adams with another team. Unfortunately, again, it's the Flyers.
Hey, Kevin,
do
you remember, did AV get nominated when he was coaching us?
You know what? I don't remember at all. I don't. He had to have been up there, right? I mean, one of those 2 years. Well, you know what? I mean, even the year they went to the Cup, though, it's not like the Rangers had a great regular season. I mean, the next season they won the President's Trophy, so he had to have been up that year, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of, if he got it with us. I'm just trying. I'm right. I don't know whether it makes a difference or not. I'm thinking about, you remember when the Garden was going on to the construction and they were on the road, and not that means anything for a nomination for this, but I don't know. I'll have to kind of, we'll look it up here maybe during the course of the show. But I'm sorry, I interrupted you. But yes, hey, look, he's done a great job in Philly, man. You can't knock him for it.
Yeah, and I mean, the knock on him, I think, from Ranger fans is that, well, he had Lundqvist, and in Vancouver he had Luongo, so it was more about the goaltending than his coaching ability. And look, he has heart in Philly, and who's a good goalie, but I think he deserves some credit. I mean, he's a good coach. I just don't know how you could criticize a coach who has taken the team to a Stanley Cup final and then a conference final during his tenure. Do I have criticisms of his coaching while he was with the Rangers? Of course I do. You have that with any coach. I mean, he's not going to be perfect, but, I would say, from a win-loss perspective and what else is there when you're a coach? I mean, it's about winning. He did a great job, with the Rangers. So, hey, good for him. Again, I don't like it that he's with the Flyers. But, it is just comical looking at it.
And here, guess what, buddy? 2014-15, Jack Adams nomination, New York Rangers, buddy.
All right, so he had it in 14-15. So the year they won the President.
Time.
He didn't win it, though.
No, these were all, he was named finalist, Montreal in 2007 and 2007, Vancouver in 2011, Rangers in 14-15, and he won the award in 06-07 with the Canucks.
Yeah.
With the 105 points season, Patriot Division, blah, blah, blah. Something like that. Anyway, so he's won it once, and This is his fifth nomination for the Flyers. Fifth nomination, getting nominated with the Flyers.
So he's been nominated 5 times. Yeah, he's a terrible coach.
Yes. Hopeless.
Yeah.
Flyers are hot, man. I mean, at least they were hot. I mean, it's been a few months, but he had them rolling, man. They had our number this year. Jeez, those Flyer Ranger games this year. They were disgusting.